Hello, folks. I'm Richard Moore, United States Anti-Gang Stalking Association. YouTube, North Mississippi Anti-Gang Stalking Association. You can also find us on Instagram, Parler, Rumble, and you can follow me on Twitter. And who else knows? So I figured I'd put that out there, since I've got a whole clutch of morons that follow me anyway, and so we let everybody in on the action. I'm entitling this video, I'm going to keep it as brief as possible, Real Solutions for Real Victims, as it pertains to criminal stalking. Many people, when they hear something about stalking or criminal stalking, well, that doesn't pertain to me, and they just pass it right on. So I encourage you not to be so quick to pass this opportunity up to get a little insight on what I'm talking about. Special Agent, Field Agent, FBI Field Supervisor Ted Gunson testified before Congress, and you can go online and pull up that sworn testimony about this program that the FBI endorses, and thanks to the NSA and Department of Homeland Security, which is hadn't got anything to do with the federal government, no more than FedEx does. It's owned by state employees and retired employees and private entities. Yes, that's right. So they really are not beholden to anybody. They built this criminal enterprise off the heels of 9/11 and with the Patriot Act, and so they're off to the races. So to make sure everybody, to make this more palatable for the Americans, for the public, you've got to involve everybody, it's, if you get everybody on the dope, who's complaining about it, okay? So the money, when we follow the money trail, it's a very complicated and convoluted trail, okay? The net result for all these grant funds and so forth from volunteer fire departments, the Kiwanis Club, Masonic cults, fake Baptist churches, perverted sex and human traffickers, law enforcement run this program. Let's make no mistake about it. This program could not be successful and thrive the way it does if it were not endorsed, controlled, and ran by law enforcement, from local all the way up to the highest level. Okay? This is, my friend, the first tainted Kool-Aid that got passed around, and they all drank it. Doesn't mean all law enforcement is corrupt. But make no mistake about it, it is not a secret. They all know what is going on and what the deal is. With confidentiality agreements and the clandestine, secretive wording of their contracts and so forth, and with that big Homeland Security seal on it, and the involvement of federal officials and judges, and the swamp is deep, and it's the deep state. This electoral process that we're going through is evident of the very thing that I'm talking about. Okay, and it's in the opposing side, just like it is with victims of criminal stalking. What are you talking about? Just shut up already. Face it. You did something wrong. Um, and we're off to the races. So the good news is you haven't done anything wrong. You're not crazy, and something really is going on. And I'd like to try to clear the air as much as possible every time I get on here. But it seems like every time I do, we dig a little deeper. This program is just a metamorphosis of the banned COINTELPRO program, which was adopted from the Russian Stasi program. Congress told the FBI to cut it out and deemed it illegal because it infringed on American civil liberties, and so they ended the program. No, they just bought the old whore a new dress, and we have Citizen Corps, Community Watch, Neighborhood Watch, Cops, PAL, pat your neighbor on the back, and everybody's in business, and just they all want to maintain complete deniability. But the truth of the matter is, the cat is out of the bag, and so now what they're trying to escape is culpability, and that's going to be impossible, regardless of what role an individual plays in this organized criminal holistic approach to community policing. You're just as culpable as Charles Manson was with the Manson family murders in California. So don't forget that. When they had the trials after the Second War, the Nazis and the first tribunals and stuff, they tried the generals, the shot callers. But then the second wave were the ones that said, I was just following orders, I was doing my job. They got it too. So let's not forget our history, and let's not forget that this program is designed for population control and to be able to take the academia away from the mindset. And that academia mindset is, we learn from history. They want to erase history, and they want to learn from the future. How do you learn from the future? You do that by controlling everything, whether it be physically or subliminally. That is their objective. Okay. Now, how do they get all these other people involved? Well, everybody, the Masons, they've got their secret hand signals. They're racist. You got white Masons, black Masons. The white Masons, they don't recognize the black ones unless one's there. Then they recognize them. That kind of deal. Hypocrisy at its highest. And then they all claim to be God-fearing people. And I don't know what God they're talking about. But the God that I serve is real clear that you serve Him. You can't serve two masters. So if you're a grand master, a grand dragon, or whatever it is, you can believe one thing. You're just like the church you go to, fake. Okay? And what is a person asked me today, said, I believe that Satanism and so forth is at the root of what, I said, that if you look at everything, there's only two plausible definitions for a person's motives and actions as it affects other people. And that is good or evil. There's no 5 or 6 different things. So it's either, if it's evil, then that should tell you. So it's self-explanatory. Now, history tells us that people did things uh, at times in history because they thought it was the right thing to do. And when the people in the town during the times when Christ walked the face of the earth, they were ready to stone this woman. And he said, any of you be without sin, cast the first stone. But stoning a person for their transgressions or whatever they done wrong, that was acceptable. I mean, those people really believed they were doing the right thing. They had, I mean, they didn't, and so we've got example after example of history of how a person's mind is gradually changed, and the next thing you know it, they're doing stupid things, and they're oblivious of wrongdoing. And so we've got that in play. I mean, that for those that have experienced the color harassment with the cars driving, the noise harassment to cause, and there's reasons, it's psychological warfare, the flash mob, the theater, and just the break-ins, tampering with your things, and so many vets. Yeah, I just feel like they're watching me when I'm bathing or whatever. The stalker may say, "Well, we're not really. They just think we are." Well, you're still a pervert, okay? Whether you're really recording somebody in the privacy of their bathroom, or if you've made somebody think you recorded them in the privacy of the bathroom, you're still a pervert, okay? No more, no less. Pervert, all right? Creepy, moronic, criminal pervert. Now, so that's, folks, is where the rubber meets the road. As I investigate, and if you look at some of my videos, I put a lot of names, and let me tell you, when I put a name out there, you can bet your bottom dollar, baby, that it can be substantiated with cold, hard facts, okay? When I run and do background checks and so forth, and sometimes we have to go to the next level and reach out to other people that other resources to get the information that we're looking for. The very thing, I've got a point here, the very thing that organized criminal stalking, now they'll say, what we're doing is they start with the smear tactics, they demonize the person they're stalking, they take away their credibility, they isolate them, they infiltrate their family, friends, and loved ones, they get them either on the deal or out of the deal, drive them home to homelessness, unemployment, to mental institutions, suicide, or prison. The end game is death, okay? And they place, it's like it's a game, okay? And those people, for some reason, however that works, feel like they're doing the right thing, okay? A lot of them feel like they're doing God's work. Hey, somebody says, well, what makes you think they're doing God's work? Well, if they're organizing in churches, which I know that for a fact that they are, whose work you think they're doing, okay? I mean, whose work? The Ku Klux Klan, the crosses and all that claim to be a Christian organization. It just gets me. And you got, right now, I'm in the dirty South. The Klan is still alive and well. And you got these old white men bitching and moaning and groaning about wearing masks, at Walmart or something. And I always want to say, well, you don't have a problem wearing them at the Klan rally. I mean, what's the deal with Walmart? So anyway, but it's an all-inclusive Klan. So now we've got Uncle Tom's in the Klan, okay, because they call it something else. It's community policing. And now we've got African Americans, American Indians, illegal immigrants, and a slush, I'm talking pool of morons. Didn't know there were that many gullible, narrow-minded, low IQ morons walking around, zombie laying my ass. This is real, okay? Get Dollar Tree and Walmart gift cards to ride around and act like asses, tormenting people around the clock, 24 hours a day. This is called criminal stalking. Title 18, the U.S. Federal Penal Code, says 2 or more people conspire to threaten, harass, follow, intimidate, whatever. You have committed a crime, okay? That's just for starters. It doesn't matter what your intentions were. It only matters what the victim is experiencing, whether it's you've made them perceive it or it's actual. That's coming, friends. Those chickens are and will come home to roost. I told you in the beginning, they want to forget they want to forget history. Well, let me tell you what part of history they want to forget. They want to minimize as just something that that's it's more complicated than that. The Catholic Church, you don't need a Bible. We'll explain to you what's going on, and Jehovah's Witness and or the Mormon cult. This is so we have got just a boiling pot, a multicultural, multi-ethnicity boiling pot here in America, and they've exploited that. You see, the Masons have got their own axe to grind. You've got the Satanists have got you got the swingers, the perverts, the closet queers, law enforcement that really and truly, they look in the mirror in the morning, don't you ever die, you're the law. No, you're not. You're law enforcement. Your job is to enforce and to protect the laws and the Constitution of this country. And by not doing that, and by thinking you have jumped into some wormhole or loophole on this, my friend, you are sadly mistaken. Those chickens will come home to roost. I was doing my job or I understood it wrong is no excuse. No excuse for breaking the law, okay? So, how far will they go once why are you targeted? Listen, it's not because of your attitude, it's not because of this, it's because of that. It could be a million different reasons. It's immaterial. That is a liberal, leftist, Stalinist, wacko mindset. Why are they targeted? Let's get into their minds and see what they're thinking. Let's see what ISIS is thinking. Let's try to understand them. I could give a tinker's damn why. My point is who, and the next question is when the people in law enforcement are going to be held accountable. That's coming. It only comes by exposure, okay? And that's naming names, dates, times, and places. Now, that's coming. They think the Constitution is historical something at the Smithsonian. Listen, we've got scores of retired veterans that participate in this stalking. Well, let me tell you what, any veteran that participates in this stalking, you are not a hero. You don't deserve to get that free or discounted tag. And the only thing you ought to get from a VA benefits is strychnine. You are a despicable disgrace to the armed forces and the hundreds and thousands of American men and women that have died and bled for us to have that Constitution, for us to have our civil liberties. When the Civil Rights Bill was passed in the 60s, this is 2020, we've got a bigger civil rights problem than we've ever had. Because everybody has drank the Kool-Aid. And whatever the news says or the newspaper prints, well, hell, that's got to be what it is. Somebody better wake up and smell the bacon. Plenty of people have waken up and smelled the bacon. It's no longer do we have a place or time in history, well, it doesn't affect me. What can I possibly do about it? Figure it out. it's not my job to sit there and individualize this thing and spend the rest of my life doing that. The good news for victims is this: do not waste your time trying to be validated. By the time you figure out something's going on and there is a name for it, they've already got your world pretty well secured best they can. A bubble of people that are going to gaslight you. You got the good cop, bad cop. You got all these people. You know, some of them go along with it, yeah, but then they, you know, it's all a game. It's all a game. We got hundreds of millions of dollars at stake, folks, and you got plenty of crash dummies. Everybody's got their own reasons. Remember this. Everybody's got their own special little axe to grind. You know, the Mormons believe their deal. You know, they're closeted racists, polygamists, and it's just Brigham Young wasn't nothing but a con artist and a treasure hunter. And so, you know, they, I'm not going to get on this, but Mormons are they love this, okay? Because they're going to be gods and have their own little heavens when they die. And it's just not, I mean, you know, they can think whatever they want to think, okay? And, but they're going to bust hell wide open. So I don't know about the little God's little heavens. I mean, your vision of heaven, mine, ain't got fire burning my ass up for eternity. That's what you're looking for. Now, and you, Masons, y'all be there together. So I know some of you don't like this, but you know, the truth, my friend, sometimes it's not well received. But if that's all you're going to get here, I'm going to keep it real. If I can't keep it real, the heck with it. Good news for the victims. Slow down, take a little time, and instead of trying to go out here and get online and substantiate what you think, there's danger in that. That is not the intelligent approach, because you get to thinking all these things. You're made to think these things on purpose now. Remember that. They know where you're going to go. We take the path least resistance. Oh, there it is. It's this, VGK, R&M, blah, blah, blah. And let me tell you, the TI groups that are in place and have been in place, that's part of the spoke in the stalking wheel. They're there to catch you. They're victims too. And man, they just pile on all this good, fake ass science and will swear. And I mean, they're ready to start spewing, make Linda Blair and the Exorcist look like a walk through the park if you try to dispute anything, any of that junk, BS. Sure, there's the government has access to all kinds of weaponry, and there's patents and all this kind of stuff. But folks, look, I know too many people in the stalking business, okay? Really? Do you think that, okay, that they're run, okay. Now, I'm not even going to go there. But so when you go on that, so then they're able to get you chasing this new awakening of understanding. But all the while you're doing this and you've been enlightened, how many people are getting their asses thrown out of the jail for depriving people of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, denying them their civil liberties, forcing them into unemployment, into homelessness, sleep deprivation, with the noise campaigns, which causes hallucination, delusions, everything that fits the bill for paranoid schizophrenia. And mental health, they play their part. They're open arms. Man, they're building mental health facilities. They can't build them fast enough. I don't know who's ever built any professional business at that rate, at this speed. You know, they going up faster than Subway or McDonald's or anything else. They're everywhere, and yes, they've got a medication for that. And so, do you think they're gonna say, "Hold up a minute"? No. What about big pharmacy? Are they gonna say no? You see how everybody's getting their back scratched on this deal? I don't think a damn bit of it's funny. A big pharmacy or any of these other people. So they've all cast their lot with this. People are dying daily. They're taking their own life. Now again, these people that are causing this realize this, but they don't feel like it's just beyond reach. We've got millions of unborn children systematically murdered, and it's legal in this country every year. You know, we had this thing, Black Lives Matter. What about unborn babies? They didn't have a say. Their lives didn't matter. It didn't matter. This country has swallowed and drank that Kool-Aid. Well, I don't like it. Well, by God, it's still going on. I mean, well, you know, it's just not good to talk about these things at the dinner table. Somebody needs to get off the trough and get out there and get up and get you off your ass. Maybe get your head out of your ass and start demanding justice from our elected officials. The quid pro quo and all this business as usual, we're headed like a snowball headed for hell to Red China and North Korea. And folks, we're not far from it. They got us wearing masks. Well, it's going to be ball gags next. Who in the hell knows? Mail, an election by mail. I mean, really? That makes about as much damn sense as brain surgery by mail, okay? Bitch, moan and groan, or you can do something about it. What am I doing about it? I'm talking about the very people, the names, the people in law enforcement, right here in North Mississippi, that are running interference for other members of law enforcement on a particular situation where a senior couple I interviewed a week and a half later, it's a murder-suicide. I mean, look, everything within my power, every law enforcement agency was contacted before and after. It's imminent danger. Told you so, call me. They told me to quit calling them. They didn't want my statement. I mean, that's weird, isn't it? Real quick, to set somebody up, frame them, like they did me, go to prison, ruin your life. They have a problem with that. They got a problem with the truth. And I got a problem with corruption and these people that are living dual lives that are quick to point fingers. Well, these is, or that's that, blah, 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 blah. Well, let's talk about the facts, okay? Let's talk about the facts. Tens and thousands of children just in the state of Mississippi, from one year to the next, are unaccounted for. CPS has no idea where they are. You know, it's just their bookkeeping or something. Really? You want to buy that? Go ahead, keep drinking that Kool-Aid. Human trafficking, child sex trafficking. I've named prominent pillars of the community in North Mississippi that back it. Not as if they have no idea what's going on. Come on, folks. It's like being at a three-ring circus and have no damn idea that you're at a circus. I thought this was a sleep disorder clinic or something. I mean, you can't be that. There's no way. That's the deal. But the money's good. And they, these people design this, they know best. And I'm just going to go along with it. And hell, as long as I don't get in trouble for it, it ain't me. And they move on with it. Okay. This is in the United States, folks. This is the United States. If that doesn't get you wound up tighter than Dixie's hat band, then nothing will. Nothing will. You shouldn't bitch about nothing. It's people like that make behemoths like Walmart king of the world. If you want to get stalked, just go to Walmart. They've got a whole stalking training camp there. And so people just love them, especially after they put every mom and pop and small business in America out of business. So that made America wonderful, didn't it? People really believe that. But they can't quit going. They can't. They just, what do you do? I tell you what, What we're lacking right now in America is a backbone. We've got too many people with wishbones instead of a backbone. Then we got a whole posse, a whole society of these holistic community policing that have the skeleton makeup of a jellyfish. They're cowards, pathetic, moronic losers. We run background checks, we run tags and stuff, and they know it. I've been saying this. When I do it and that comes back and I don't get a hit, and it's not just one database, folks, or it comes back and I don't get a name, that's not a glitch in the computer, boys and girls. That's done purposely to disguise that individual's identity. Now, if what you're doing is legal and right, why in the hell are you hiding your identity? Why is it when we turn our equipment on, you do everything to mask and hide your IMDI numbers and your information on your phone? And we do collect the information. We know the difference. And it's real clear what's going on. And it puts y'all stalkers and you criminals in a precarious situation. Maybe you haven't considered this, because every single thing that you have denied the victims, and that's due process. Oh, by God, I know you don't want to hear it, but it's true, and it's for everybody. The rain falls on the just and the unjust. I will promise you, we may not have a perfect system, ladies and gentlemen, but by God, we've got the best in the world. It's let me down many times. It has let down many Americans. Many people, daily people die. The newspaper says one thing. We don't get the truth. We don't really know. In some cases, that may be true what they give you. But let me tell you, folks, if you don't question, that is our right. As an American, it's to question our government and our officials. The people that use our tax money, that are paid to be the centurions and the keepers of the gate, must be questioned, must be able to do better than give a song and a damn dance. You got to be like the bank. They trust everybody, but they still count your money. Let's see that. Let's see your fact, because you say this person's all this. That's why we have a system. Now, love it or hate it, that's why we got that, to keep from having that. But the law, well, says some lawyers, and they get out and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the prison business is $1 billion business. The last thing they want to do is not to have repeat customers. It's be like Walmart said, don't ever come back here again. Bye. They want you to come back. Matter of fact, they're going to make sure you come back. All right? So you go to prison, pay your debt to society and all that. It's over with, isn't it? No, shit, no. You can't vote. You can't do this. Let them have a gun. They'll have to get pissed off and shoot anybody. They still get guns. All these things, a lot of people, companies won't hire them. They make it hard. And plus, federal and state, the probation, these departments that supervise these people are in with community policing as well. Yes, baby. It is recidivism. It's at an all-time high. They say, we want to help you reintegrate to society. Well, you failed. Then they gaslight them. And thinking, oh, wait a minute, I ain't had a chance. No, that's called gaslighting. Let me tell you, it's got a whole bunch of you going to bust hell wide open. You know exactly what you're doing. You know it's a game. And somehow, just like the abortionist, does not consider himself a mass murderer of genocide. They're just a doctor doing a service. My ass. You being involved and participating in this without opening your mouth or taking a stand. Well, I'll lose my job and everything else. Well, let me tell you what. What about? Good thing that we're not counting on you to go fight our battles, because you might get killed. Folks, this is a war here. And this is not, we don't have time for a lily-livered, weak-kneed sister panty waist to say, well, I'm just scared. I don't want to rock the boat. I'm trying to turn the nasty thing over. And we're only going to do that by telling the truth and exposing what they're participating in. People, homeless people, and they still stalking them. Let me tell you, they won't have complete deniability. So what if something happens to one of these stalkers? Well, I'll get in trouble. You know what? I welcome a court appearance for anything. The opportunity, because you can bet, as sure as the sun's coming up tomorrow, friend, I don't care if it's jaywalking or what it is. I've already got list after list after list of people that, if it's serious enough to take me to court, and by God, it's serious enough that I get to do something that's called exercise my rights of due process. It's called subpoenas. Now we're going to get a bunch of people lying and committing perjury. And can they all sing the same damn song without it looking screwed up? You're not going to be able to get me in a FISA court on jaywalking. So now, and your tag and all that information was hidden. So if you wasn't up to something, Mr. Grandmaster Masonic moron, what is the? So give us the real reason. Mm-hmm. Listen, folks. Let me tell you, we're gonna take this journey of 1,000 leagues one step at a time. Stalkers, let me tell you something. I know you don't like that word. You want to use a whole lot of other things. But I'm being nice by calling you that. Whether you like it or not, you're going to take that trip too. You're going to face the very things that you have deprived and alienated the victims from. And that is the laws of the land, our Constitution, our civil liberties, and due process. Your day will come. You can bet that your day will come. It's not going to be the mob mentality rules. Well, we all think it's right, so hell, we're going with it. Sorry, the founders and framers, it was set in play to keep that. Now, this country's gone astray many times. Abraham Lincoln signed the Declaration of Emancipation in 1865. It took 100 years before a black man could ride anywhere he wanted to or eat at a restaurant with white people. 100 years. Bobby Kennedy made that happen. My first cousin, a world-renowned photographer, has passed away now, documented every bit of that. Charles Lee Moore, New York Times bestseller, Powerful Days. He's friends with Dr. King. And all those, most of those famous and notorious photographs were taken by my cousin and published in Time magazine, and opened the eyes of the world to the struggles in the South. It took 100 years. Well, we know Bobby Kennedy, what happened to him, and JFK, what happened to him, and Dr. King, whatever happened to him, I think the closet queer J. Edgar Hoover may have died. Who knows what he died of? But by God, he wasn't assassinated. That's called stalking. It's live and well, folks. It's not a conspiracy. It's not a psychosis. And this ain't coast to coast. I'm Richard Moore, North Mississippi. It may be another planet, but I can tell you one thing. It's still part of the United States of America. One nation under God, indivisible. Let me tell you something, folks. All this talk about they're trying to upset the apple cart with our democratic foundation of what, I don't know where in the hell y'all get that. We're not a democracy. This is not a democracy. I don't worry about it. We live in a democracy. Really? Let me correct you on that. We live in a republic. Okay? Okay. For the republic for which it stands. We don't live in a democracy. This is a republic. Folks, it's not just a misstep on words. You've been baked slow. Slow baked, comfortable. You're worried about whatever's going on. Sitcoms. What color mask you gonna gag yourself with, and whining about what you're doing to the president and all that. Well, you don't have to turn the news on or anything. All you've got to do is look around you at your house or across the street. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. People, people that do not care. They feel like that, hey, we know what's bad. I've been there, I've been around, I know what people need. They don't know what they need. Well, we'll give them what they need, whether they want it or not. And I'm going to tell you, folks, you have cost many victims everything they have. I'm one of them. But I want you to keep something in mind, friend. I'm coming. Because since I've lost everything, got one damn thing to lose. I'm coming. And there's more of me. And I'm not the only one that feels like this. And let me tell you, folks, it's not going to be any Tiny Tim tippy-toe through the tulips either. We're coming. And we're on the right side of this. I'm a God-fearing man. Why is it? It's such a powerful conglomerate of screw-up criminals have done everything to destroy it. You can't, because you're fake. I'm real. God decides when and how. Not you. Not you. And God will never, ever authorize or condone one of his to come against one of his own. Period. You call yourself a born-again Christian and you're stalking people. You're full of shit as a Christmas turkey. Hell in a handbasket is your ticket. That's the truth. That's the truth. Gosh, I know that. Say, well, that's uncouth. So that's not. Listen. The pleasantries went out the window a long time ago. God didn't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny. These creepy ass, freaking, peeping Tom creeps that are scratching their ass and their head, they're trying to act like, well, he must be crazy. Keep that in mind. Keep that part in mind when you continue doing what you're doing, okay? I have made some examples of some of them, and they know who they are, and so I'll wear that. But I can tell you one thing. I'm not out there. I can sleep good at night, whether you want me to or not. Regardless of what religion, or if you subscribe to any religion or philosophy or anything, you need to. And there's not one way to win, okay? So, you know, you're gambling. You're gambling. Let me tell you, folks. You're playing this game, the card game of life. I'm going to tell you, there's only 2 winning hands, and they were nailed to a tree, okay? 2. They were nailed to a tree. Anything else, death will sure be the dealer. And let me tell you, you're not going to like the hand. You're not going to like the hand. Karma is real. Jesus taught karma. He said, as you sow, so shall you reap. The least of these, he was speaking literally and metaphorically. What you have done is the least of these. You have done it unto me. Folks, that is what keeps me up at night. Praising God. Knowing that he, my friend, has already, I've read the back of the book. I know how this whole deal winds up. Win, lose, or draw in our political uproar right now, God's still on the throne. He's still on the throne. And as a child of God, it's not we will win, we already have won. And all the money in the world can't stop it. It is just nothing. It is nothing. God provides for me because they made me unemployable. And I've said it a million times. My father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. He owns all the hills too. So let me tell you, friends, that's the good news. And they can't. It's who God recognizes you as is what matters. And at the end of the day, that's the only person that you got to make happy is him. And let me tell you, that's all. The rest of it, don't worry about it. Get it right with him. Get it right with him. Everything else will be right. It's going to be all right. Sometimes you might not need to open your eyes. And sometimes you might need to shut your mouth. And a lot of times you need to quit casting your pearls before the swine and run into these stalker/fake TIs feeding victims horse shit. I put them on blast. I'm gonna continue to do that. Those are my big. They are the worst. Of course, they're stalkers. They've always got this. They come out with this deal. What was called? We got a bad attitude, or we got this, or they're reading your mind. Okay, all right. Well, let me tell you what. I hope that their reading is that good, because when their names start showing up on indictments, and a lot of them need to pray for that, because some of them may show up on death certificates. You know, karma's real. Karma's real. God said, "Vengeance is mine." I see him handling it daily. Okay, so I'm not concerned about that a bit. But I'm gonna keep putting them out there. I'm gonna keep putting the people out there. These people that have covered up murders, and I see senior citizens all across this country. I was in South Florida, which is a place where countless people go to retire, to live out their golden years. And that state, my friend, is a cesspool of stalking, and they prey and target senior citizens. That's a fact. That's a fact. And folks, let me tell you something. If it was your parents, would you think this shit was funny? That elderly couple that supposedly was a murder-suicide, that's a lie, in Oklahoma, Mississippi. Children, Fred Stevens, that's a lie. The sheriff, the coroner, those that were there, know it's a damn lie. I would be wrong to just let it go. I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. Why are you covering up the facts of 2 senior citizens' deaths as having you got a good explainable story because they had a past or what? No, sir. That they left this world, left this country, and this country betrayed them and let them down. This man served in Desert Storm. This country let this man down. They came up with their own story. Good old boys, whatever you think you are, you're a criminal, you're despicable, you're pathetic. Live with that. Because you can believe this. Federal authorities, at the highest level, what I've told you and things that I've mentioned, they've heard it too. And let me tell you what, folks, if you don't think that your chickens are going to come home to roost, listen here. Keep living in that dreamland. Keep thinking that. Keep thinking it. Keep thinking it. Victims, hold your head up. It's not if we win, we are winning. We will win. It's just a matter of time. They do not want us to organize. That's the reason they've got misinformation, all these elaborate scams and crap online. These people that, and the victim gets so screwed up that hell, they become their own worst enemies. You can't tell them from a monster or a perp. They don't even what the deal is, because they'll get to spew and vomit if you trespass on any of their ancient alien theory or whatever the hell. Okay, I can show you some of these dumpy ass house trailers over here. Some of these people down the road, all the ancient alien looking whatever. It's real. Okay, it's not something I think. Okay, you can see them. In most cases, smell them, spot them. They're scared of toothbrushes. So it's real easy to break it down on these criminal stalkers. So follow me on Facebook, North Mississippi. And look, I go on assignment all across this nation. Now it's they don't give me, I don't have I don't get gift cards like these stalkers and packs and all this kind of moronic BS. They chain smoke and what's the deal is? I mean, it's just whatever. They got to keep their distance from me, because I'll help them. I'll give them more help than they ever. I tell you what, I'm in this position for all the stalkers. I'll put all of you on notice. I'm itching to give you what you're campaigning for. You know that, okay? Every damn thing you campaign for, I'm itching to give it to you, okay? May not be what you think you campaign for, but I guarantee you this is what we're doing. Because as I travel across this country and I meet with people and I see how you have tried systematically are toying with people's lives and destroying lives, let me tell you what, folks, they have absolutely could give a tinker's damn whether you breathe or not, because you are worse than anything that somebody could step on and get on the bottom of their shoe. I don't care if you got a badge on or if you're wearing a cloak. It doesn't matter. Or collar. It makes no difference. It makes no difference. It's that side that other people don't know that I'm talking about, that you know and God knows. Okay? That's what we're talking about. And I do take assignments. I do want to hear your story. You can contact me through Facebook, North Mississippi Anti-Gang Stalking Association, through Twitter, or you can contact me through YouTube. So, that's if you, anything, I want to hear your story. I want to encourage you to journal, write down what's happening. Don't try to get validated, get people to agree with you or anything like that, okay? Do the intelligent thing. Don't run and get something that fits. It says, now that substantiates it. No. Figure it out on your own. This is the intelligent approach, folks. If you feel like something's going on, try to disprove it yourself on your own without anybody's help, okay? Try to disprove it. That's the smart way to do it, okay? If you cannot disprove it, you have substantiated, okay? It's simple, all right? Now, others say, well, you can't prove stalking. My ass. Does the United States have nuclear warheads in their arsenal? Yes or no? People say yes. Okay. Can you prove it? Hold it a minute. Okay. It's not my job or your job as a victim to be an investigator to prove something that is already known and ran by law enforcement. That's given. Okay. That's a given. It's not a secret. It is a federally funded program that trickles down this gonorrhea to all these other groups, from Indian tribes to satanic Masons. And they all get a piece of the pie, because they all got their own little secret axe to grind. And the people at the Home Office, Homeland Security, and say they give a tinker's damn. They kill and eat each other. They don't care, because they try to have deniability. They collect data and personal information on every single human being on this planet. I mean, get out of here. Folks, keep your head up. I'm Richard Moore. Till next time, God bless you.